I think we got the sexiest smoker room in Canada, by the way. Let's take some votes. In Fireplaces by Cameron, all of the barbecue lines and smokers that we've decided to bring in, Cameron or the management team actually owns, operates, and cooks on one of these things. Of course, made in the US of A. We count on the Americans to know their barbecue, and I trust them. We know we're not gonna get a bunch of cheap, lightweight alternatives. Of course, they got all sorts of options out there with smokers. Nothing as solid as the Yoders. That guy's 1,300 pounds, by the way. I know because I carried it in here on my back like a mule. What I always say to everybody who comes in here, why would I want to go to a smoker versus a barbecue? Well, everybody's used a barbecue. Old way of cooking is with smoke next to a fire, infusing those flavors. Once you switch over to a smoker, the chances you're going back to a barbecue is low. Once your wife takes a bite of your smoked meat, she's never going to want you to cook on anything else. And that's permission to load up the Visa card, by the way. When I first got my offset smoker, I was pretty much every day for 2 weeks cooking on that thing, and the entire family was like, "Daddy, what are you cooking tonight?" It gets your taste buds dancing in a whole new way that you've never experienced before. Kind of like the freshman year at college. Once you get used to it, you're gonna be YouTubing recipes. If you wanna use it like a barbecue, it does that too. You can just come out here, fire it up. You're good to go in 10, 15 minutes, and your burgers are good to go in another 15, 20. And the flavor's better than a barbecue. I would never buy a barbecue knowing what I know about smoker grills now. I burn on an offset smoker, so it gets me all hot and tingly inside when we're talking about these things. Doesn't matter which one of the offset smokers you get, they are so solid. It's a lifetime grill. When you buy one of these things, you're gonna be handing it down to your kids. It's gotta be like 3/8 steel on this puppy. Of course, you got your little thermometer hole here to run the thermometer through. The heat grade, this guy, makes it super easy to clean. Pop the grates off, and then your heat plate. You got a little bit of temperature control by sliding this guy back and forth. Generally though, once you set it, you forget it. You can pop this guy right out and give it a power wash, give it a scrub down, however you want. It's indestructible. There's virtually nothing you can do to hurt this thing. You got your air control on the side, so you get your unit up to temperature. And of course, you can control the smoke a bit on the stack as well. May as well grab the counterweighted lid to show you, and it needs it because this lid's got to be 100 pounds in itself. You got two different thermometers. You can monitor what the cook box is doing. And you know what they say, if you're opening that lid, it ain't cooking. So basically just leave it alone. I got a little wireless thermometer I stick in there. I can monitor it from my phone, so I'm getting the benefit of the tech in this one without all the tech in this one, if you know what I'm saying. So there you go. I burn in that one because it's an experience. I get to burn solid fuel. I have an unlimited supply of hardwood right on my property, so it doesn't get any better than that. If you want to get a little bit bigger, you're getting into the Kingsman. That guy there is going to take care of the whole family. 2,200 square inches of cooking surface. It's just massive. 1/4-inch steel construction, just an absolute monster. It's got to be over 5 feet long, 4-inch smokestack on this puppy. You throw in your hardwoods down in the firebox here. You can fit an entire human being inside this puppy. I use a fire starting torch to get that puppy going. Once it gets up to temp, probably takes 10, 15, could be a little longer if you don't start it aggressively. And then you're ready to smoke. You're into the 225, 250 range. My brother-in-law, he's got one of these too. We did 2 whole turkeys in this puppy. They were incredible. Mouth-watering, juicy. Everybody's still talking about it 2 years later. We do it every Christmas now. I'm a big prime rib guy. You ever taste a prime rib that's smoked? Oh man, it just melts in your mouth. We're doing vegetables. I've done pies, pizza. Sky's the limit. Then you're getting into the Durango, the full stack on this guy. Same unit as the Kingsman. You're just adding the full vertical smokers, and you could just see how much stuff you can fit inside cooking this thing. Just an absolute piece of craftsmanship. 3-inch smokestack on that puppy. And then we can get serious over here. Check out this guy. You have to really be into smoke and fish and large quantities or something like that to be getting into this. If you're into it, this is gonna work perfect for you. It's got multiple layers of control on there, and then of course your firebox and damper down the side so you can see your smoke control there. Fully welded in there, beautiful. Then we're getting over to the charcoal grills. We got the 36 and the 48-inch grill. Of course, you need to get the mitts if you're getting into these guys. But just massive, massive grill tops. You can get like 160 bergs on that thing. And what I like about these guys, you can actually control your temperature a bit with the height of the grill. Another great option if you're a little bit less into the smoking, more into the barbecuing. Grills are a phenomenal way to go. Yoder pellet grills, it's our most popular smoker line. I'm gonna show you why you wanna go to a 640 versus possibly a smaller unit like a 480. Of course, if you got like a family of 53 or like doing weddings for fun, 1500, the big granddaddy of smokers is where you wanna be going. The Yoder 640 pellet grill is one of the biggest, more popular selling units. Look at that, People's Choice for 2023. Pellet grill winner. Oh, you can't beat that. It's got 1/4-inch plate steel on the top of these things. We have a 19-hour hopper, so you can get those briskets cooking for 12, 14 hours. All the Wi-Fi tech communicated directly to your phone, so you can dial the cook in from the comfort of your couch. They call it a variable displacement chamber, which is this guy here down on the side. So if you want to change the way you're cooking or move the heat around inside the burner, that's gonna allow you to have more control, to allow more heat to stay on one side, or open it right up to do a bit more of a full heat distribution, smoke distribution way of cooking. Competition cart, you got multiple colors, you can throw that on there if you want to pizzazz it up. 1/4-inch plate steel on these guys. Got a gasket around there, keep the smoke isolated inside, but she's hefty, and you can see they got a counterweight on the back of these guys. Could even dial up on the soy and still lift the lid of your smoker. What am I talking about? There's not too many people that are into soy using a Yoder smoker. Except for Sean, he's dialing into the soy for sure. But you can just see the quality of these guys. Like, they're getting serious, welded right in there. Pull these guys off. And if you've ever had a barbecue, being able to do that is so nice, so you're not sticking your hands directly into the flames and searing off your fingertips. Stainless steel grill grates, can't go wrong, easy to clean, easy to service if you have to. Just see the quality inside these guys, like solid gear. And then you got your heat plate in here, 2-piece, so you'd open up this guy to access for cleaning, so you can get right into the burn pot or the igniter for a little bit of maintenance. This is where all the magic happens. You got a little fan with an igniter down there, then your pellets drop in from the hopper up top with a great big steel driven auger. Check that puppy out. You don't want to stick your finger in there, it's gonna come off clean like a episode of Jaws, something like that. The heat plate then diffuses the heat to allow an even temperature distribution inside the firebox. They're really plug and play. Like I like to say, we should start a remix. Like I like to say. Once you switch over to a smoker, you're not going back to a barbecue. You can barbecue on a smoker for one, but number two, the flavor that gets infused with the pellets and the natural wood smoke, it just stays so juicy and tender and delicious. And when I sit here thinking about it, I want to light mine up. Next thing we gotta talk about with the Yoders is they have dialed in the accessories over the last few years, right down to the pizza ovens built right in. Got your diffusing plate there to keep the heat nice and consistent on that pizza stone. I think Canadians actually made pizza first. The original pizza cooked with the fire. That's French now. You're gonna get the natural wood flavors right into the dough, right into the pizza. Absolutely amazing what you can do with these guys. One of my personal favorite accessories on these guys is actually the griddle. Do your bacon, your eggs, right on top of your smoker. Awesome way to do breakfast. We got the 3-tier rack here. If you want to fry up like 16 hogs worth of ribs, you can do it right on top of the 3-tier rack. Great accessory. Being a Canadian fella, the thermal blanket on these guys is a must-have if you want to be cooking in cold climate. So I'm from the West Coast. It really doesn't get that cold here. It was 12 degrees last week. It's the end of January. Who would want to live anywhere else? Basically anywhere else in Canada. Insulated blanket's a great way to go. Anything you can do to get outside. As much as we men all know we like to hang out with the family all Sunday afternoon, it is nice to get a little breather, sip on a cold one, and fire up your Yoder smoker and get some meat happening. So there you go. That pretty much gives you the rundown of Yoder Smokers, charcoal and offset smokers. Cameron Contracting burns and cooks on one of all of the barbecues or smokers in our store. That gives us the ability to talk about it. And again, would you spend or buy anything that you weren't willing to back up personally? We wouldn't. We've tested it, tried it, and we wouldn't have anything else in the smoker department other than Yoder Smokers. Fireplaces by Cameron.ca. We have all of the accessories, all of the smokers on our website. Perfectly shows why we have it in our store and why we need to show off Yoder Smoker.